yeah, several things. See, in a way, right, this camera's up there. Funny thing is, I actually think it looks more of a mess than it actually is. I don't know. I really have the feeling, sometimes I think I'm in a better state than I actually think I am. And that's, for example, right, for example, this sound now. I mean, you can hear this. It's like, so, you know, I only have 2 USB slots on this laptop, which means I can't use any others. And that's okay. But I also know in the future, right? In the future, I want to change that. So right now, I don't have the mental capacity, I don't have the emotional capacity, I don't have the financial capacity to change it. And therefore, I don't change it. Now, for example, I'm thinking, can I change this? Can I change it while I'm working on it? Probably not. Well, it could have somehow, but now I'm recording it. So why not just leave it like this, right? For the moment, you know, this is the way it is. And because it is the way it is, it ought to be okay. Oughtn't it be? Yeah, I assume it ought to be. But I mean, who am I to say? It's like the camera now. No, I'm kind of uncertain now. You know, should I sit? Should I stand? You know, if I sit, it's always this stupid squeaking. But no matter what I do, there's always kind of a downside. Well, turning on the light already, you know, gives me some kind of change. So you could say I woke up this morning, you know, as usual, feeling my usual self, and you see I'm like a bit agitated because, you know, shit is happening and it's kind of disturbing, and I feel like, you know, something should happen. At the same time, I don't know what. Yeah, actually I do. What did I do now? Oh, that's the screen. It's the screen! The screen is screaming at me. Please do something. But what ought I to do? I don't know. See, let's just change this a bit. It's like more familiar. There you go. Right, sometimes I just feel like changing something. But a wise man once said, and that was me, you know, change for the sake of change is unwise. Or something like that. Like, what the fuck? I mean, YouTube, come on. I mean, you can do better. Muss beleidigen. You know, that means he has to insult. No, he doesn't. You know, it's just his excuse to insult everybody. I mean, I can insult everybody and then say, I have to do it. It's my condition. Yeah, and maybe I've been conditioned to do so. So what's a condition? It's the condition. It's the current state. And the current state of affairs is like, you know, you know, it's likable, it's dislikable, but it most certainly is the way that it is. So, I mean, where did we leave off? Where did I leave you off. Well, we both kind of know that, right? So first of all, I think I'm back to the place where I just do. Huh? What? Sorry, what you just do? What do you do? I don't get it. Well, maybe you should. I don't understand. Well, of course you don't. Because you're a bloody idiot. And bloody idiots do, I mean, you know, we get it now. You're lazy and you just want to watch TV, so go fuck yourself. See, it's the finger, right? It's not perfect, it's just the finger, and you know, everybody knows what that means. It's like, you know, go fuck yourself. And whatever variation of the middle finger, you know, you like to use. And then the question is, of course, do I want to, you know, should it stay like this? Do I want to change it? Do I want to be straight down at the bottom? So, I think I learned from last time and I'll just do something with it. Right. So, what would you ought to do? Oh shit. No, you know what? I'm not ashamed of my line of work, right? And that's important because now I heard my dad walking outside and I had the feeling I wanted to change something here, like let down the shutters, but I just decided against doing that, right? Because I say, you know, fuck you, if you don't like what I do, at least I like what I do. And, oh yeah, I'm already at light. You know, now I'm just agitated. I'm just agitated today. Like I'm riled up, you could say. And why is that? Well, I can tell you. I can tell you why I'm riled up. Because you've watched the last video, didn't you? Yeah? I mean, I asked you a question. The last video, you watched it, right? Sorry, I can't really be mad at you because I don't know you after all. And yeah, you watched it. And because that's also the thing, right? I mean, sometimes people watch past and they think, you know, oh, look, I'm working here. What are you doing? You're playing with your computer. Fuck off. So, let's say you watched the last video, you know, let's just assume that you watched it. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. I can say, you know, I'm somewhat fine with accepting the fact that you watched it. I don't know what last video is, but, you know, supposedly it was the video where I talked to you about going back to Amsterdam and saying like, you know, fuck it, that woman is gone there. Yes, I have a whinge here, and you know that already. I just feel like this should be at least a bit higher, you know. I mean, I'm not using my standing desk as a standing desk because I'm too lazy, but that's also okay. Anyway, you know that I can stretch this out forever. I mean, you should have experience with this already by the time. So, no need to complain. That's for sure. Alright, this will stay like this. This will stay like this. This has to connect. Anyway, right, the last video I said, you know, fuck it, right? I think I have the feeling I need to go back to Amsterdam. I'm not entirely sure. Funny story also how this painting developed. Right? It's not like I'm 100% sure. It was just my anger. I mean, it's just like, fuck you. This is how I felt like. And I felt like it already. And then I felt like it again. And then I actually went through with it. Right, so I did it. And it felt somewhat good. Where I also thought, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? But actually, no. I mean, what's right with me? Because I actually expressed that feeling of fucking hell, like, you know, I need to get out of here, and everybody's kind of full of shit, like people don't have balls, because what happened? Well, I can tell you what happened. I got back home and I felt somewhat alright, right? I felt good. You can say, I mean, you can safely say or assume that I felt good. And I did. Then I got back home. And of course, the universe, you know, it doesn't just leave you to feel good, right? I mean, there has to be something. So I checked my phone. And somehow I had this feeling I didn't want to put it into flight mode. Because in flight mode, I don't get notified when there's a missed call, which is somewhat nice. But sometimes I just feel like I want to know if somebody tried to reach me. Yeah, and somebody did. And I thought, oh, you know, let's see who that is. And I checked and it said, unknown. I mean, nobody ever calls me. And then somebody does call me. And what do? Yeah. What do they do? Well, they turn off their number. And I can't see it. And I just happen to find that a bit shit. I just happened to find that a tad bit shit. Because of course the reason then why I find that shit is I can't call them back. So I have to wonder who it might be. And that to me is shit. Because I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. But a part of me, of course, does. And why is that? Because I think, well, maybe, you know, it's that young woman. Or maybe, yeah, actually, the most part of me is hoping that it's her. Now, in the previous video, I said, I'm going to go to Amsterdam. And, you know, fuck her. I didn't say that, but, you know, that's how I felt like a bit. You know, I don't need you anymore. This is how I felt like. You know, that's how I felt the 1 second. Then I go back home and there's a missed call by an unknown caller. I mean, the cheek the universe has. or God, right? It's like, or myself, because if I'm God, then I'm just creating this myself in my own favor. That's the worst, right? Because if you see it like this, then I'm actually doing this, all of this, because I need to learn a lesson. Because if I'm God, right, then I'm partly creating this scenario. It's like this kind of belief that you came here and you first made a contract with all kinds of different souls, and you then say, we're going to help each other along the way. And sometimes, helping each other means, raping the other person, or killing your son, or having a terrible relationship. Because on a soul level, we all love each other, but we all need to make experiences to grow as souls. However that works, doesn't really matter. But, right, and then you come here, and then you meet people, and everybody who's really shit to you is probably your best friend. It's like, oh, thank you, I mean, that's how I felt like with that young woman. When I told her to fuck off out of my life, I didn't say that because I hate her. No, I said that because I felt like there's a message that you're not hearing. And this is the only way you can hear it. And it's the same with that old friend, On a way, I still love him. But I just need to keep him off my back. So I just say, fuck off, right? I mean, find somebody else to play with. I'm done with this. And on a soul level, we probably agreed beforehand to do this like that. And that's just the stuff where you just think, what? I mean, what is going on? Exactly. So that's what I ask myself, what is going on? When I come back, after having done these shots in the city and feeling like, holy shit, I just did that. Usually when you feel really good about yourself, the universe comes and fucks you up. And probably when you feel really shit about yourself, the universe comes and, offers you something. But the thing is, I don't want to produce situations anymore where I just feel shit. So, right, I just try to feel as good as I can with what I've been given. And it's a tough one, said that already. It's a tough one. But, what is there to do? You just try to deal with it. So now I've got a call from an unknown caller. And now my heart is thinking, well, maybe it's her. And then a part of me thinks about, okay, what if she would call me now? Because I can't call her back. So let's say it was her and she would call me back. A part of me thinks, because I feel into the situation, a part of me feels like, I don't need you anymore. And then there's this voice in my head saying, she's your wife. And then the part of me thinks, I don't need you anymore. I mean, on this level, I understand what's going on inside of me. And why do I need to understand that? Because, of course, now I feel like, now I'm alone. I don't need you anymore. But what if she then comes back to me? I mean, I would be an idiot to not allow her back into my life. I would be a fucking idiot. Because she's like the best woman I can imagine. And that's just the truth. But of course, feeling smug about myself, I can then say, I don't need you anymore. And that's then maybe where the universe is making you trip on purpose. So what do I also do, right? Instead of feeling like, I'm on top of things now. Because that's then the other thing. I woke up this morning and I felt, everything is kind of all right, I don't need coffee anymore. That was the other part. So, why not drink tea? And I felt into myself and I thought, wait, this is a bit sudden, right? Normally, this doesn't work for me. Like one morning I wake up and I think, now I only drink tea, no coffee anymore. And then I start drinking tea and then I start hating tea again. Because also coffee is what is available right now. So I think it would be a fantasy to believe that I just let go of coffee. So I don't really trust this feeling. I don't trust it anymore. Because, I've tried beforehand and I realized it doesn't work like this. Like sudden changes are a trap. Sudden changes are a fucking trap. Because what else would I have been doing then? I would have drunk tea and then I would have cleaned the room because, now I'm suddenly, I reached a goal. But it's a fake goal, right? It was a fake goal. It wasn't a goal. I just felt like it was a goal. But actually it was a test. And that's just my belief, right? It's like, I'm not falling for that shit anymore. And so of course, I could have done it, and all like, oh yeah, now I'm feeling fine, I don't need that woman anymore to be complete. And I don't need coffee anymore. Because exactly how I felt. This is exactly how I felt. Like a prissy little asshole. Prissy, what a weird word. Actually, when do you consider a word a word? So, that's just the mental state. Mental. Like, it really feels mental because it's just insane. But that's when I think, this picture, what's the relevance right now? Sometimes you're being tested and something comes along and, it has these beautiful eyes. It has these beautiful eyes. And it's looking in your direction and you think, and you think, so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Right? Because this is sometimes how it is like. But then actually it's kind of fucking ugly, isn't it? It's just the best thing that came to you in a while. That's like that starving man, or let's say you're alone in the desert and you're really horny and, the most disgusting woman, like you would never touch her. And she comes and suddenly she's like, oh God, it's just a vagina, it's just a hole to plunge in. And this is how that... right now Amsterdam just seems like, the promised land to me. It seems a bit like the promised land. Only is it? It just seems easier right now than what I have to deal with here. Because and I fell for that already. So do I want to fall for that again? Well, that's your choice. You can. But I think, I'd rather wait a bit. I'd rather wait a bit because I say, what? What's the, rather be a bit patient. Rather be a bit patient. And just see, where are things heading. So right now I don't know. So of course I could make plans now and plan this all out, but I also had plans for here already. And I feel like I would be a bit stupid to just throw it all away. Because I've done this already so many times. I mean, you can't believe how often I just, I had a set of cards, and then somebody offered me a better set of cards, and then I just, oh, let's take this one. But in the end, it's just a set of cards. You get that? It's just a set of cards. It doesn't matter. It's the same shit. It just looks a bit nicer because it's something else than what you have right now. And right now, what I have just doesn't seem very promising. Like the deck of cards I'm holding, I don't know what to do with it yet. Right? So I need more cards to show me, okay, wait, is this set of cards telling me to go to Amsterdam? Or is this set of cards telling me to stay here and just once in a while go there? Because, why do I have to go from one to the other? Because I think, I didn't really like it that much there. I think what I really liked was just what it was, hinting at. And what was that? Well, just everything I don't have here. But the thing is, you don't know when that's gonna change, right? So sometimes you just have to be really patient, although you don't really like it at the moment. Well, what can you do about it? Nothing. Well, you can, of course. And that means patience. Because just this thought of, oh, I'm going to Amsterdam, I'm something special. Things are working out for me already, I can stop working now. That's exactly the trap. That's the devil talking right there. That's exactly the devil talking, and I've listened to him already many times. So do I want to listen to him again? Well, hell no. Exactly, hell no. He'll know also. So he'll know with what he's going to tempt you. And whatever the devil is, it doesn't really matter. You can say it's just an entity, an energy. But also the devil is God. So, you don't have to be afraid of him. You just have to learn from his lessons. Because ultimately, he's actually working in your favor. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand. Because they think he's evil. No, he's just a part of you. And by trying to say he's evil, you get scared. And then you say, oh, I couldn't help it. The devil was tempting me. Well, yeah. You let yourself be tempted. So what can you do then? Well, you just work with it. And then you're just trying to somehow stay on top. To somehow stay on top. Jesus, I don't know what to do here. And now for me the situation was, like I said, I've already gone through situations like this, where suddenly you have the feeling everything's different, but it's not, it's just, this is how it could be once more. This is not everything's different right now. No, this is more like things could change. things could change. Well, you'll see if they will. You'll see if they will. And they just may not. Right? They may not. Ever. But they also may. So you just wait and you just stay patient. Because the worst thing you could do right now is to just drop everything and do something entirely different. Because that's then what this inner feeling, that's what it wants from you. That's what it wants you to do. It wants you to drop everything, and that's why I say it's a test. That's why I say it's a test, because that's what it is, it's a test. Right, so all you have to do is pass it. All you have to do is pass the test. I mean, that's not an easy one. That's bloody difficult. Because what's the test, right? I mean, it's the promised land, right? The promised land. But you don't just go there. I mean, I've proven it. You don't just go and run to the promised land. That's just not how it works. No, you earn it. You work for it. You work for it. So that one day, right, you can be there and you can have these things. But right now, you just have to stick it out. And you just have to keep working. Keep working, keep working. And yeah, that's then the conundrum, of course. But it doesn't really matter, because you know by now roughly how to deal with it, I assume. And therefore, you don't allow the universe to show you the middle finger anymore. No, you actually know how to avoid it. And now, just for me, once more, to recap, right, what's going on. Well, like I said, it's difficult. And it's your prison, and it's the matrix that surrounds you. Like, I have different lies to unmask. And for example, the lie that, these metropoles, these big cities are better than the small ones, that's a lie. It's one of the biggest lies there is. Because they want to get you there. But it's a lie. It's a lie. So you're going to listen to that lie? Or are you going to learn from it? Well, that's once more your choice. because it's your lesson that, you know, it's not always greener on the other side. Like the grass isn't always better elsewhere. Actually, not quite sure I got that right, but it doesn't matter. Actually, is it? No, it's actually more white in the middle, isn't it? So, right, you just figure that out. You just go and figure that out. And that's just your job. To figure out what's the lie and what's the truth. And that's just, right? That's just where insanity is lying. Right there. This is where insanity got you by the balls. Like literally. Not just figuratively. This is where you think, I think I'm about to go insane. So, of course I could say and keep saying, she's not it and all that. Yeah, I can say that, you know. But I can also just wait. Instead of judging her now and saying, she's awful, you know. She cheated on me. Well, I don't know that. And for all I know, the devil is a fucking trickster. He can tell you everything. Like, he can lie to you in ways you don't even think anyone would be able to lie to you. And that's when you think you've got it all figured out, you know, he already has you. Like, this is exactly the moment where you have to show your true colors. Where you have to say, well, right, I think I'm like really smart. But maybe he is just toying with me. Just maybe, right? Maybe he's just toying with me. Maybe you're standing in a blood of sea, a sea of blood or something. Oh. All right. Yeah, sometimes you just need to focus a bit. So, you know, this is just one of the pitfalls that you're going to encounter along the way, right? And this is just one of them. This is just one of them. So good luck figuring that one out. Because it is going to cost you a lot of patience. Yeah. A lot of it. A lot of patience. Oh. No. A lot of patience. So the other thing is then I went on my channel to check because I realized I had a new subscriber, and despite the fact that I actually don't want to look at these things always, well, I did anyway, because maybe it's somebody. So you look at that and you think, okay, who is it? And it's an old friend or somebody I used to spend time with. And you think, okay, well, maybe it's just him that called me, right? And that's then also usually when you start to relax a bit and you think, okay, I actually have no idea. I have no idea, right? I have no idea who it was that may or may not have called me. So what can I do? You just stay calm and observe. And remember what you set out to do. Like, what did I set out to do? Well, to slay my demons. To get rid of these fucking assholes, that live inside of me. And that tell me all these weird things that actually I don't believe. But sometimes it's easier, and that's the thing. Sometimes it's harder to struggle against what they're telling you, so you just kind of agree. But on the inside, you don't agree. So you still know what's going on, but then the problem is that you have to remember that. Like, you have to remember, the decision that you made not going to Amsterdam. Or not living there in any case. So you have to remember that. Because otherwise it's going to take hold of you again. And maybe it's good to just look at it, but not to do the same thing you did before and just rush there, blindly. And you just keep waiting until things unfold by themselves. And until then, you just do your work. As tedious as it may seem at the moment, but it's the best thing you can do right now. And everything else would be just, rushing. And rushing is always bad. Because then you just turn into a herd of wildebeest that just starts running into a direction, not having the slightest idea where it is that they're going. So, you can ask yourself, do I want to be a herd of wildebeest, or do I want to be like a reflected human being that kind of knows what he's doing? And I'm saying, kind of knows, right? It's not don't have to know like all of it. It's just, you know, at least you have an idea of what's going on. And most people have no idea what's going on. They just follow orders. They just blindly follow orders. That's all they do. They are being told, you know, this is like that, you know, now you have to be afraid, and then they're afraid. And then they're being told, now you have to be angry, and then they're angry. And they protest, and they're basically just being toyed with. They're being told which emotions to feel, you know, and how to react to it. And they do this, and why do they do that? Because they're insecure. They're insecure to such an insane degree that they don't know what they're saying. And that's once more this point, like, you know, the ignorant, they have no clue what is going on. And that's why, of course, when a friend or somebody I would have used to call my friend comes and reaches out to me, you know, I have to remind myself in what kind of world he is living in. Like, in what kind of world is he actually living? And then I remember, okay, maybe he wants me to give him security or something. But that's not really my job. My job is just to show people how to do it themselves. And anything else can't really do that anymore. And that's just what you have to remember. Whoa. But yeah, friends are always kind of, you know, promising. And people and all that kind of stuff, you know, it's like, alright, you know, it sounds kind of nice, but what's the catch, right? I mean, right now I feel lonely. Somebody from the past is contacting me. What's the catch? What is the catch? Well, for starters, it's not who I want. That's a catch to me. It's not the person that I want in my life. And that should be enough for me to make a decision, a reflected decision. A reflected decision. A decision that is informed on my past experiences, informed on all kinds of matters, and you know, it's just for you to figure these things out. That's basically all there is to it. You have to figure it out. And nobody else will ever do that for you. So, yeah, this is just where the camera stops. No, I think this is just what it's going to be like. Let's just do this. Fit the screen. Right, I don't have to bother you with these things. And I mean, what is this image? You know, you show fuck you to the world while holding that hand over a candle. You know what might happen? You might burn yourself. So better watch out where you're holding that finger. So yeah, I don't know, as usual, what's going on. I have no clue. All I know is that it's right, somewhat confusing. And that's just all there is to it in the end. Now I just want to turn this around, rotate. Alright, and then you say layer to image size. Because I want to create different shades. Like, I don't want to work too much with black now. At least I don't have the feeling I do. I kind of like the overlay. Also like that it looks a bit like tattoos. Right? It does look a bit like tattoos. So, and then it's just a matter of, you know, how much do you want it? And then you can also decide, you know, I'm just going to keep it that way. So, it's just your decision. And just make sure that you remember there's nobody to blame but yourself. Any decision that you make is your decision. Okay. It's your decision and you made it. And that's why, you know, you just go through with it. Let's just see what that does. The statue, of course, nothing. Whoa. Right, it's your decision. It's more or less all that you can say to that. I like these effects. And I was somewhere in the linear burn, I think. And then you just figure it out. Whoa. But it's just how it is here. It's just so many options. Right? It's just so many options. Like even this. But yeah, like I said, you don't want to divert from your original road too much. Because once you've known something like very true for yourself, it's like maybe for me, this woman, where I say I love her. Like, do I want to stray from that path or do you want to stay on it? Whoa. Right, so I mean, what do you want? Huh? So, yeah, conscious decisions. Scheiße. There's too many options, guys. Do you know what? I have to do it different. Say, delete layer. Just put that on normal, take that, and then you just go through it again. Because sometimes it's just fucking confusing. You just have to see what comes out of it. And this, of course, doesn't really work. And see, this is already what I have, so I don't really want to put that over that again. So first of all, I want to have something which I like. And I want it to be with color. Like this. And I want to see what comes out of it. So of course, and some things are much easier than others. Of course, what I could do is also to just say, give me that color. Or maybe and then do what? Just to see. Because that's strange now. You see, it's still there. Now I have to do this.
Maybe sometimes it's also not just about, you know, to have it like completely insane. Maybe sometimes you can just go for an okay effect, right? Because otherwise, because I have to admit, I kind of like it like this. That's just what it is, right? The blood is showing, and you can see how it is. And then you can say, I was tempted by a slug. And of course, as usual, the PNG. Export with no compression. And then we'll just ditch that. And then you take it and you delete it, which means you just let go of that. These I still want to keep for a bit. Of course, it's like, what the heck? Yeah, I just like to delete. So this is 0365, which is, and then these I already used up until 373. So I don't keep these either. And then 391, 392, oh yeah, 3416. Okay, these all go too. So it's just about erasing options, because you'll keep want to fiddle with them, and that's just, you know, what you do. Then you write a book and you keep fiddling with it, but the book is already, you know, it's done, like it's finished. It's like that image, it's finished, it's done, you know, this is done. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And if there's things I don't like maybe I see here, maybe I don't like that, well, too bad, because this is finished. This is finished. You don't work on that anymore. And that's why I just didn't drink the tea, because I said, you know, this is a bit fishy. I don't trust it. I've been there before. I've done that kind of mistake, to just throw everything overboard. You know, to just say, you know, okay, then it's not that woman, you know, it's surely somebody else, just because it seems easy right now. And that's the same with male friends at the moment. I just say no, because it's not what I want, it's not what I need. What I want is a woman, and that's why, one specific one, and that's why I'll just keep waiting, and that's the hard thing to do, and that's why I know it's the right thing to do. And, you know, I don't want to run after, look what happened to the candle, that's quite nice. You know, I don't just want to keep running after these things that seem promising, while actually, you know, you realize everything you need is already there all along. You just have to learn to see it. And I think that concludes this video, and I say peace out and enjoy as much as you can.